Hello, welcome back, everybody. Today, what I'm going to do is walk you through the next step in our conversation related to the age of exploration, and that is to create a voyages map. So, we're going to try to map out some of the voyages of these early explorers using the Google slide that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so the actual activity today is to make this map itself. Now, if you go ahead and look down at the slides that I've shared with you, there's two of them. Okay. One of them is the map itself with kind of a color spectrum over here. And the other one is the list of explorer names with the places that they explored. Okay, so all these down to the bottom with this guy, Francisco Coronado. And we're going to talk about how this works here in a second. But what you're going to do is, again, you're going to use the features on this Google slide to create your map, and then you're going to share it with me. You're going to send it back to me. Okay, so in order to figure out how this works, first of all, you got to know what's going on with these color schemes down here. Okay. You have a list of names, obviously starting with Christopher Columbus, because he's the first one to go and explore what will eventually be known as the New World. And it goes through a list of colors all the way down to like brown and black and gray to this last guy here, Francisco Coronado. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to create the lines with their journeys. And the only way that you can do that, if you look at that list, is you have to look at who the explorer is, like in this case, Christopher Columbus, and you have to look over in the next column to see where they explored. And in the cases that there's more than one, you're going to have to do a little bit more work. If there's just one, like Panama or Peru or Florida, then you're going to have less work on that particular explorer. But I'm going to show you how to do it here by using the map and doing an example. All right. First of all the colors that you're going to use are already listed, and they're going to have to match the explorer with the right color. So that's going to take some thinking. But to give you an example of how to use the tools on this, it's really easy. So if you look up here where it says arrow, you can click on that, and it'll give you some options. Actually, if you click the pull down next to it, you have line and arrow, which are the only two that really would be relevant here. If you want to do arrow, you can do arrow. If you want to do line, you can do line, but they're pretty much the same thing. Okay. I'm going to start with an arrow, and let's just pretend that I'm going to do Christopher Columbus. Okay. Now I'm going to totally make this up because that's going to be your job. But all of your lines, this is really important, are going to start from this star because all these explorers pretty much start from over in Europe around Portugal and Spain, and they're going to travel westward in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so let's imagine I'm doing Christopher Columbus, and I've gone up here and I've clicked arrow. So then it's going to give me kind of the crosshair there to make an arrow happen. So I'm just going to put my crosshair anywhere on that star, and I'm going to make it go wherever, based on the list, Christopher Columbus traveled. So I'm going to imagine that he went to like Nicaragua, and then there's my line. Now, while you have it highlighted, what you want to do is go ahead and choose the color. Okay. So while this line is still highlighted, and if you accidentally unclick it and you click something else, you can always click back on it. But you want to go back up in here and hover over where it says line color. So if you click on line color and you're like, okay, Christopher Columbus did red, you choose red, and then there is your red arrow so far. Okay, and if you want to make it bigger, you can just click on it and then go next door to it where it says line weight, and let's make it, 2 times as big, or we can make it 3 times as big. But that's how you make the line a little thicker. Okay, so that's just if you are going to make the line go to one place. But if you look at this list, in some cases, some of these guys go to more than one country or state, or sometimes a combination. Now, I got to say this, I think this is obvious, but just so you all know, none of these places actually existed at the time of Columbus and these explorers. This is just a list of what they are now known as in present day. Okay, so it just gives you an idea of where they were located. So back to this map real quick. Let's imagine that Columbus went to more than one place, which he actually did. But again, he did not go to Nicaragua. I'm just going to use this as an example. But let's say we got this line done, and now we want to add to his journey. So we're going to click arrow again, and we're going to start from the end of that arrow. And let's say he went to somewhere else like Guatemala, and we just make another arrow right there, and we would do the same thing we just did. Okay, we would go up, pick red, go up, make it 3 times as big, and now you would have like his whole journey plotted out. Okay, so in some of these cases, you're going to have to go from this country to this country, or this state to part of this other country. So there's a combination of places. Okay, now the one that I'm going to do with you that's kind of the freebie, I'm going to get rid of this fake Columbus path because that's not really Columbus's path. I'm going to give you the one that goes with Ferdinand Magellan, okay, because he's got kind of a unique journey. And if you notice here, it says Ferdinand Magellan, he started in Spain and he went all the way to the Philippines, okay? Now, that's going to be tricky on this map, so here's how I'm going to show you how to do this. He has a pretty unique journey. So I'm going to start in Spain, or again, anywhere near the arrow, and, or sorry, anywhere near the star. And I'm going to go actually way down here. And I'm going to explain this here in a second. So I'm going to make this yellow. I'm going to make it 3 times as big. You guys don't have to. And then I'm going to come out the other side here, and I'm going to make another arrow. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make another arrow, and I'm just going to make it shoot off the map here. And I'll do the same thing, and I'll make it yellow, and I'll make it 3 times as big. Okay, and here's why I'm going to do that. Get out of here, you little arrow. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that Magellan is actually on a journey to go around the entire world. Okay, so he starts in Spain and he goes all the way below what you would see on the map. So imagine an actual map of South America. He goes all the way down below South America and shoots out the other side to the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so that's why his is not necessarily the same as all these other people. So that's your Ferdinand Magellan right there. So if you just copy what I did for Ferdinand Magellan in yellow, you'd be good on that. Okay, so again, your step for today only is to create this map. All right, so the only way you can do that again is to look through where they actually go. And if they go to more than one place, you have to plot that accordingly, and you have to match the color. If all your lines are the same color, that's not going to count. If your lines are, not matching the correct person and going to the correct place, then that's not going to count as well. Okay, so again, the rest of this activity is pretty much to fill out the other 9 arrows or lines of the kind of matching color. Okay, we're going to use this map the following day along with some other information to make some observations about these early explorers and some of their journeys and some of the results of their exploring. But this is a good start today. And I know for some people, this is going to be a big task already because you got to get all the arrows right and make them the right color and things like that. Okay. So again, you all will share this with me when the whole map is completed, and I'll see that it's done, and I'll check it off and say, yeah, that looks good. And we'll be good to start the next activity the following day. Okay. So as always, I hope you all are doing well and staying safe, and I'll see you soon.